Hi, welcome back. So I think it's about time I gave my Spectrum Plus 2 a little bit of attention, a little bit of love perhaps, and yeah, kind of have a look. So this hasn't been used in ages. I only have the RF connection lead, and as you can see the picture's really bad. I tried to tune it in as best I can, but I've discovered a few weird things. So if I grab a tape, this is a copy of Chess. It's not exactly who is it? Chess by Scion. This is not a gameplay video, by the way. If I load it up, the moment I start messing with the tape, it just interferes with the screen so badly. I mean, I've tested it on a few things and it loads fine. I push the button, the tape, I don't know whether you can hear that, is a little bit graunchy. The mechanism is a bit graunchy, so that probably needs a clean up. Let's see if it's going to... There we go. That's the header. Program Chess. Okay, so it's loading, but the screen is terrible. There's a lot of interference. Once the program's loaded, it's actually quite a quick game to load. Once it's done it, so if I find the second part, it's got to load the... It loads the intro screen in a Spectrum style. There we go. But you can see how unstable it is. So now there's no data coming in, it's still wobbling about. As soon as data starts coming in, there we go. Oh, actually, that's not so bad now. It's locked vertically, but yeah, it's really bad. I don't know whether I was wondering whether there's a loose connection or something. Maybe something isn't grounded correctly on the tape, which is causing all kinds of interference on that. It shouldn't be that much interference. I know it's a bit weird because it's an LCD screen, so we're not seeing it with a cathode ray tube, which does sort of smooth out a lot of this junk. If I had an ordinary CRT colour TV, it would look a lot better, I'm sure. Which is, there's a bit of an irony there, but the CRT does smooth things out a little bit. It's a lot more forgiving. It can be quite harsh on an LCD. Also, I'm not entirely sure the tuning is spot on. The setup here is a pain in the arse. I don't like the... There you go, it's now loaded. So you can see that's loaded. So a lot of the interference has gone. If I then stop... I've got that on there. Hang on a sec. Let me just go to that. So you see that. If I stop the tape, it goes clunk and then it's solid. I mean, still, the picture's still not great. Not sure how well you can actually see that, but the picture's not great, but it's at least reasonably stable. I wonder whether there's a possibility of having a bit of a retune on it. Where is it? We're going to go down one, manual tuning, okay. And then we're going to go down, storage system. Yeah, the trouble is there's no fine tune on it. So if I do that and start changing the tune, so channel 36 is there or thereabouts. What it's supposed to do is then, though it's still searching, it should find the best picture. Nope, that's just totally gone. I have to go back down again. Yeah, it homes in on the best quality signal. So it's starting to pick something up now. There you go, bang. And that does seem to be the best it can be. So I don't know. It's just not great. It could just be that it's something about the telly, facet of the telly. Although I didn't believe the Spectrum, the ZX Spectrum was as bad as that. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I have played this on here before. Hang on a sec. Let me just compare this with the ordinary Spectrum. One minute. Right, I've got my dinky little Spectrum there. Oh dear. What happened there? What did I touch? Whoa, something. Whoa. What was that? Maybe this cable's dodgy. Hang on a sec. God, that's very stiff. Right, let me plug it into the Spectrum, the ZX Spectrum, and see. Oh, it's probably got a slightly different. So if I go to menu, I have to retune that, of course. Go to manual tuning, OK. Come on. Yes, manual tuning, hello. What's it doing? Menu doesn't seem to be working very well. OK, manual tuning, OK. Right, let's go down. There we go. Interesting. So that's not very good on there either. Not the cable, is it? Oh, I've got another cable here. It is absolutely massive, but it feels good actually. It feels good. It's got a solid cable. To be honest, I did just assume everything was going to be alright with that cable, but hey. Whoops. Just working the joint there. Hang on a minute. Oh, it's all got so twisted up. Right. Let's get rid of this one. Let's see what happens with this one. No, that's no better. Is it? Maybe a little bit. It's easier to get in and out. No, I don't think that's made much difference. Okay. Anyway, it is weird. So even if I do rewind on the tape, it's still generating too much interference. That can't be right. Maybe this is. I need to open this up and have a look and see if there's any loose connections or something. Oh God, that's really bad. I click play, it just jumps completely. I mean, that's kind of just about ish playable, but you can't really make out the pawns. And I mean, look, I can adjust all this stuff and change contrast and all that malarkey. I can do that, and that might help a little bit. But to be fair, well, there's kind of no point. It's so bad. I'm not sure that's ever going to be great. So yeah, it's really figuring out what's going on inside. Hang on a sec. Right. Let's get this open. I think it's quite a straightforward affair. Oh dear. Whoa. That was weird. The whole thing just weirdly popped up there. This is, oh my God, that doesn't sound good. This has been opened before. I've had it a little while, but I've never actually got round to doing much with it. I knew it turned on, but that was it. But there's something going on in there. This is unusual. It just made some really weird noises. Like weird, I'll tell you that way. Some weird graunching noises. What the hell? Hang on, let me. Let's get these screws out. The one there. This one didn't. This screw felt a bit odd. That's something being weirdly stripped inside, and that one didn't feel right either. They should come out nice and easy like that. one's still in. It doesn't sound or... Right, that's... Okay, what's happened is the plastic underneath is stripped off. Yeah, it's not even attached. And that's what was happening on the other side. So that screw and that screw were probably jammed home really, really tightly. I bet you they snapped the pin. Whoa, that's not great. Right, let's turn this upside down a bit. Whoa. There's a little connector there you've got to take off for the tape drive, which actually looks really clean. So there's the board itself. Actually, it looks pretty good. CPU. No, look, I mean everything looks okay, I guess. But yeah, you can see here that's the other side of that screw head. It's completely snapped off. So I'm going to have to do something with that. I don't know what. Glue it or something. Don't know. No idea. Yeah, that's snapped off there, and as has that one down there. That's the top of that one. Oh, flipping heck! What a mess. So somebody has been ham-fisted with their efforts. Let me move this down that way. We can have a look at the tape drive, which is there. So the tape drive actually looks okay. I'll say the belt is a little bit loose. Maybe that needs replacing. I don't know. Yeah, everything looks okay. It's in decent nick. I don't think it's actually had that much use, really. I mean, the internal mechanism is quite clean. And I've been able to load a few games on this, no problem. That belt is definitely dodgy. You can see there where it's slightly deformed. It's probably been sat there for years and years. Okay. In terms of the RF parts of it, if we have a look down there, there's nothing untoward I can see. But there still could be a duff connection. I wonder whether maybe this connector here for the tape deck was somehow dicky. There's no there's no corrosion or anything like that. All looks okay. I mean, there is a potential for a little bit of a retuney, tweaky thing on there. I did wonder whether there was like a solder issue on that thing, but I don't think so. Let's plug the DC power back in. So we've got the screen on. Actually, that already looks not too bad. Right, let me get my little tuning screwdriver. Yeah, definitely something going on in there. Oh yeah. That's very weird. Maybe there was a dry joint. Yeah, maybe there is a dry joint in there. That doesn't. When I tap it, I can see the screen is glitching out a fair bit. Okay, well that's something to investigate. It's very difficult because obviously these are on these classic bloody Spectrum Amstrad flipping ribbon cables for the boards, for the keyboards. I hate those things. Let's move this that way and then put that back in. So if I click loader again, so there's no tape in the drive at the moment, and actually yeah, it's making a bit of a grunting noise. Let me get another program. Let's do a bit of BMX freestyle. Well, it's made it jump a bit, but weirdly I think it's better. I haven't done anything, but let's wait till the program comes in. You can actually read the text. I couldn't really read it before. Okay. That's mega stable all of a sudden. How weird. And you can actually hear the audio. You could never hear the audio before. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell I've done. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not jumping about all over the place. Maybe it was that connector. Maybe the actual drive, the tape drive connector. Sorry, the data recorder connector was a bit dicky somehow. I mean, there's still loads of artifacts in there. That's naff. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to give this tape drive a clean and service. I'll probably change the belt anyway because it's got to be naff. Oh, I love the loading sounds. It just makes me feel great. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'm going to give the tape deck a service, change the belt, clean it up. Well, it looks in great nick, but hey, I don't know. I need some silicone grease on there or something like that, really. Yeah, well, there you go. So, the mysteries of taking things to pieces and then magically fixing themselves. That's good. However, I have discovered that there's those two standoffs in there. Not standoffs, what are they called? Those screw posts are just totally snapped off. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to try and glue them in, but I'm not sure that's going to do much. But at least it might be something, I suppose. I just don't know. So yeah. Whew, blimey. Okay, well, I'll let you. Right. Well, when I've done that, I'll do a part 2 and I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, there's only supposed to be a quick dive in, but mixed bag. Yeah, so anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to do that. I'm going to reset that. So I'm going to let you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to service the tape drive and change the belt, clean it up a little bit, put some grease on it, silicone grease, and I'm going to try and fix those standoffs, the screw posts that have broken off, because that's no good. So if I can fix that, it won't be perfect. It's held together with quite a few screws, but you know, I want to do something about that. Everything else seems to be okay. It's magically repaired itself to a degree and seems to be nice and stable. So yeah, that's a good thing. I'm just a little bit surprised. I'm not quite sure what I did, but I do suspect it is to do with that tape connector. I'm going to have to do some more investigation on that. Anyway, I'll join you back in part 2 at some point, and this video's awful. So yeah, so I'll post a follow-up video afterwards, and then we'll see what we'll see. Oh, this is shit. So I'll post a follow-up video, and we can see where we get to. See you next time. Cheers. Another quick look at this. Take this off. I think so. I wasn't very happy about this thing. It's difficult. I'm not sure whether you can see, but inside there it's weird because that actually looks really dirty. I hadn't spotted that before. Oops, you can't see. What's weird? I had another look because I wasn't happy because I couldn't find anything positive about it. But that connector which goes into the cassette port there is a bit dirty, and I can't figure out why, because everything else looks sparkly clean. But I think I'm going to put some contact cleaner in there anyway. So that's just some contact cleaner in the end there to reseat that on, because that's literally the only thing that's changed. I did wonder whether there's something here that was a bit dicky, and I must admit the soldering doesn't look great. It looks like it's been retouched at some point, but yeah, I couldn't find anything that was positively indicative of an issue. However, I did spot this. So if you look on the corner here, that is had a massive whack, and I think it's been glued. Yeah, definitely, and the glue has sort of spilt a little bit. So yeah, this has been dropped at some point, so that may explain why it's a little bit upset. Yeah, tricky. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to bite the bullet. I hate these bloody connectors. They're just so bad. I hate them. But I'm going to have to take these off. So, oh, do I want to take them off? Oh, I hate them. Maybe I don't need to. If I just take these screws out of the board, what I'm trying to do is flip that up and out of the way. So I'll take these. Very weird. Don't tell me this torch is going funny as well. It's like some stuff, some fabric on there. What the hell? And there's quite a lot of flux knocking about on this thing. Maybe it's had repairs at some point. I don't know. That looks like that connector, which is the something connector. Must be the RGB connector. That looks like it's been reworked because it's covered in flux or something weird. this looks okay. I was wondering whether maybe that connection to the RF module had some kind of sin, some horribleness going on. Let me take a closer look. Oh, there's some solder splashes and stuff on it. Maybe. And some of the soldering there doesn't look great, I must admit. It's like, and that joystick connector looks a bit dry on a few of those joints there. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. I haven't tested the joystick port yet, but if that joystick port is not working, that's probably the reason. Anyway, maybe not. Right, so I can't really see much there. I think at some point I'm going to get a SCART connector for the video. There's for the EU ones you can get, or for the standard ones you can get composite connections, or you can get SCART connections. I think the Spanish one is slightly special on the output. There's no composite. But I find SCART to be pretty good. My monitor here, that thing, supports 2 SCART sockets, so that's actually quite cool. Because that can be a pain switching. You end up with loads of bloody cables everywhere. Okay, right. So that's that one. I'm not sure. I was thinking about this tape drive here and taking that off, but I'm reluctant to do that. But I think what I'll do is I will change the belt. Let's find a suitable belt. I mean, it works. It's tricky. I never like changing things that work. Well, maybe I won't bother. It's such an easy thing to open. At the moment, rather too easy, because it's got these broken tape things, broken posts. That's the that's the other side of the posts. So both that one and that one have stripped off the base, which is really annoying. It was an odd one on this side because it's actually broken. I'm not sure whether you can see, but because it's broken in a jagged way, there's like an angle. As you're rotating the screw, it was making the case go ding 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 ding. It's really annoying. That is stuck fast. Wow, that is jammed on like you wouldn't believe. So I'm going to have to get a little brutal with this. I don't like doing this, but a pair of pliers is probably the only way that we're going to be able to get that off. Yeah, it is coming off. Wow. So I don't know why it was like that. I suspect what happened was somebody was very ham-fisted and decided to crank it up as hard as they can for some bizarre reason. Don't know what they thought they were trying to achieve. We've all done it and we've all been there and stuff. So I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but it just is a little bit unfortunate. Hang on, this is very tricky to. So I've got to do that one. Is it coming off? Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, what I was saying was they probably just jammed it on as much as they could using a huge screwdriver. This is a big screwdriver. This is a fantastic screwdriver. It's really long. A friend of mine gave it to me years ago and I just love it. It's a bit nasty looking in some ways. You think, well, that's what use is that? But look how long it is. It's ridiculous. And that Phillips head is it seems to be just the right size for a lot of applications. It's very useful. This has gotten me out of lots of tight scrapes when it comes to access to various things. So next step, bung those screws in there, and I'm going to grab this thing back, and I think the only thing we can practically do is try and glue it. I'm not confident that's going to be much good. I've got an idea. I'm not sure whether this is going to work, but my idea is I've got some general purpose glue. So if I use a cut off cocktail stick, what I should be able to do is put that down there, glue this thing like that, and that will keep it in place, but it will also stop the hole from getting filled up with glue. That's the theory. Okay. Okay, so as that glue cures off, my intention then is to make sure that I can wiggle around the cocktail stick and then get it out, because obviously I don't want to glue the cocktail stick to the unit. But it does provide a nice, I think anyway, this is completely untested, so who knows what's going to happen. So there's one there with a cocktail stick, another one there with a cocktail stick, and I'll leave it a few minutes and then give it a wiggle and make sure I can remove the cocktail stick. So I've taken that one out, and that will, so I know that that's properly lined up. If I do the same with this one, I need to plug my light in because I can't really see what I'm doing, which is not helpful at all. That's better. I'm going to try and stop this from moving too much. Give it a little twist as I pull it out. There we go. Well, that potentially that works all right. So hopefully that inner bit is free of glue, and it's been properly aligned. So we'll see whether it works. Chances are it won't, but it's an attempt. Anyway. Be back in a sec when that's cured off and we'll reassemble it. Let's get this all buttoned up then. Now those posts have been glued. I think that should be okay. First things first, let's get the motherboard screwed down. Be careful with these horrendous cables. Sinclair / Amstrad Special. Get these ones to line up all right. So these ones are the smaller silver screws. Okay, that's that one. Now it's a case of reassembling this. It goes there like that. Very careful with the keyboard connectors. Very fragile. Cheap, I guess, from the manufacturer, but not my favourite things. Okay, so there we go. This is the buttoning up. Now I'm going to be very gentle with these screws. Yeah, that one's no good. I think the thread on that one is actually stripped. Look, that's not attached to anything. So we've got two broken posts that I've glued as best I can, and then another one where the thread was stripped completely. Just noticed a massive gouge mark on there as well. Bloody hell. Poor thing. So this is not going to be able to go back. I think it was basically just hanging on by dear life. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's plug it in and see. Now that we've cleaned those contacts, let's see whether that's had a positive impact on things. Maybe at some point we can revisit the screw posts, and maybe there's a way of doing that, you know, sorting that out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway. There we go. Oh, I flipping love that noise. Okay, cool. That's better. That's what we want to see. Still looks dreadful, but it seems to be reliably loading stuff now, which is what I mean is it's loading it, and the screen is more or less intact. Yeah, so that's enough of this. Back next time and we'll investigate more. So I think that's it for now. We'll have to investigate more Spectrum Plus 2 weirdness in the future. See you next time.